Welcome to video number 2. Today I'm going to talk about how to teach your young children about personal finance. Get them to care and learn about money. When my mom had me as a baby, every so often she would get cards from relatives that said, "Congratulations on your kid, and they would enclose $5 or $10 or $2 or whatever. The money was meant for her to go buy diapers or baby food. But she didn't go buy diapers or baby food. She took the money and opened a savings account in my name in our little small town. And for these savings accounts, you get this little leather book and it has your name at the top of the front page. It's sort of like a passport, I guess. And then it has a bunch of rows. So every time there's a deposit or withdrawal, the bank teller had this stamp thing that had ink on it. She'd wind the dials and it would say like January 5th, 1985. And that would like put the date in the box in the bank book, the savings book, the little leather savings book. And so every time there was a deposit or withdrawal, and for the first however many years of my life, there were only deposits. No one took any money out. So we had these stamps at every sort of birthday and Christmas. I would get $5 or $7 or however many dollars. Put in this little book. And this would be, I had some savings before I could talk or before I knew what money was. And so this went on. And how the bank in my little small town worked was, for the deposits and withdrawals, you got the stamp with the date on it, sort of in like text. But if it was more than 3 months since you've been to the bank, they would, after you deposit your money, sort of say it was my second birthday and they hadn't deposited money since my first birthday, they would figure out what was the interest due within that year. And after you deposit the $10 or whatever, they would calculate the interest and they would write that in by hand. So withdrawals and deposits would get the stamp, and interest, if it was longer than 3 months since you've been there, would get added in pen, they would write it in the interest. So there were two kind of entries, the stamp kind and the on-stamp kind. So that's how this went on. And once I was old enough, like 4th or 5th grade, she gave me this book and she's like, you have some money. And I don't know if I cared or if I knew or understood anything at that point, probably not. But we fast forward a little bit, and in the 6th grade, I started working on a farm outside of my town. Farm work is hard work, and I suppose it's good for you and builds character. So if you can get your kids working on a farm, that'd be good for them. Anyways, I made $4 an hour on the farm in the start, and I would get paychecks, and they wouldn't be for very much. It was just in the summertime. And in my little tiny town, there was nothing to really spend money on. There was like a place you could buy a candy bar, something like that. But I don't think I bought many candy bars, or maybe a little bit, but I didn't have much to. I had a bicycle, I had clothes, and I had toys and stuff, so I didn't need much. So I probably took my paychecks up to the bank and had them add the money to my savings account. So I sort of did that every so often, and then every 3 months, the lady would handwrite in the interest. And this is not in today's interest environment where you make 0.5% a year in interest. This is, back then, you were making 5% a year in interest. So it's significant. So, I mean, if I made $10 in interest when I went up there every 6 months or something, that's a lot of money. If a candy bar costs $0.25, well, $10 buys 40 candy bars. I mean, I wasn't buying 40 candy bars, but to a kid, that's a lot of money. And it's free money. So I went home and asked Mom, like, what's this? Like, what's this cursive line, this other line that's not stamped? What's that about? She goes, that's interest. The bank pays you to use your money while you're not using it. I thought to myself, that's pretty cool. Like, I like that. I don't have to work and I get paid. So I talked to my parents and I talked to the bank. The head of the bank was actually our neighbor in our little small town, Maryland. And so they said, if you promise not to take your money out, you can earn a higher rate of interest through a CD. And so in 6th grade, I got a CD. And so they made it sort of fancy and nice. Like, you get this sort of big check, like you won, not like you won the lottery, but like it was a pretty big check. And this had a fancier stamp on it with the dollar amounts and the name and the date and stuff. and you put it in like a little sleeve that you could see through. I mean, it was kind of fancy, nice. You felt kind of cool. And if you promised not to take your money out and get one of these CDs, you could earn, instead of 5%, you could earn 6%. So you could earn even more interest. And I did that right away. So I was making a significant amount of money. Like if you could make 6% risk-free as a little kid, that's pretty awesome. And I got lucky again. I have a cousin who worked for Janus Mutual Funds in Boston at the time. And he was visiting at some point when I was in junior high school, and he said, if you invest in the stock market, you can make even more than in your CDs or in the savings account. So I'm like, huh, really? So then I bought a mutual fund, a Janus Mutual Fund. It was conservative, but it was a mutual fund investing in stocks in junior high school. So I had stocks in junior high school. I think somehow this puts me in this makes me an outlier. Not many junior high school kids own stocks. I mean, and it wasn't like my parents did this for me. I sort of dumbed into this, I guess. I mean, my parents helped me for sure, but like, it was about the free, this all started with the free interest with my savings account before I knew what money was. And then when I started having some tiny amount of income, free interest, free money is awesome to a little kid. At least to me. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but it was awesome. So I bought mutual funds at the end of junior high and through high school, and it's just sort of snowballed. I went into college sort of knowing something about personal finance and sort of knowing like what did I want out of, like, I didn't know like how to achieve the goals, but I knew like what the goals were and like what should you sort of aim for, what should you sort of want. Like you want to sort of grow your money as passively as possible. If you can sort of make money without working, that's awesome. Also, like if you have to pick between like money or time is more valuable. So if you can teach your 10-year-old about money, that is so much more valuable than sort of giving him some money when he's 20 or 30 or 40. Like money when you're young is very, very valuable relative to when you're old. The time is more valuable than the money. So if you can impart some knowledge on your children when they're young, it's worth a lot. I just wanted to share that with you. Somehow my mom was able to teach me about personal finance as soon as anyone's possible to do that. No one could teach their kid about personal finance sooner than she did. And I'm grateful for that. So props to my mom. She did some hack even before that was a thing. And I'm very grateful and very lucky. I just wanted to share that with you. Sort of try and talk to your kids about money when they're as young as possible. It's going to make a big difference later on. Thanks again for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed already, please click below and subscribe. If you have ideas for videos or questions for me, please put them in the comments. I know this video is not going to be great. I'm going to keep trying to improve and get better with every video. I'm going to try and put a video out on the weekend and on Wednesday. So twice a week moving forward, and hopefully I'll get better at a fast rate so you guys will enjoy the videos more. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.